Hey everybody, it's Cam. Hope you're having a great weekend. It's Saturday, March 13th, and in this video we're going to talk about AMC, the week that it had this week, closing up 39%, and based on its chart where it could probably be heading this next week and to finish out the month of March. So first we'll start here on the weekly chart. We zoom in down over here on the right. So last week was a red inside candle. So closed at 8:05 on the week. It technically got at 8:01 on the close from my video last weekend. If you watched that, I'll link it if you want to see it. Just I don't think it's entirely relevant now, but did project it to go higher, as a lot of people did, closing over 8, forcing shorts to cover on those options expiring. But we moved up higher this week, so we'll see it when we go down to the 5-minute chart. But we gapped up on Monday. Had a lot of strength. You see on the weekly, got a lot more volume. So 721 million shares this week compared to 414 last week. And you'd like to see that on a move up, right? So consolidate in here, break out higher, break out on more volume. And we pushed through the high from 2 weeks ago, right at 11 bucks, and pushed up into the mid 12s. So I'll go down to the daily, so I just think you can see a little bit better. But this green set of Fibonacci retracement lines, it's from the low. It's technically this day for the 526 from February 9th, up to the high on February 25th, where put in a high, pulled back pretty severely, and you'll see we did respect this 38.2 fib level here to close last week, Thursday, Friday. So I didn't actually even have this fib up in the last video. But you see we bounced off that 31, got all the way up to that 127, sold off, pulled back to 78. So I still think this is like a bullish setup to go target this 161.8 level. Just happens to be 14.5, where I've spoken in the other videos that I think $14 area is definitely a doable target here pretty quickly in the foreseeable future. Obviously, we're going to have to get back through the 12 high right here. And I'll go back out in the weekly. There's some resistance in the 12s going back 3 years. But I think the next target just based off of this fib retracement would be that 161.8 level. It's in the same area as this 50 and 61 level. So obviously there's a target there. And if we zoom out actually back to the weekly, you'll see that above in that $14-15 area there is more volume. Obviously here we got a lot of volume from the 2018-2019 time frame, and this is also a good point why you want to go out all the way to basically as far back as history you can get, because you could say that there's a lot less volume above compared to below, but if you go out to the monthly, you get 10-year here, and then you do see that there is quite a bit of volume still here, in the teens, basically all the way up. So there's really like a volume shelf here, between 12 and a half, and then it decreases, but it's pretty significant to what is above. So we poked up here 20 pre-market high on the move back in January, got all the way to 25.8. So thin volume up there, but you see down here we did get a ton of volume here into 2017, 2018, but I don't think this is an area where a ton of shorts piled in, unless they were incredibly bearish on this, that it was going to go to zero at that time. And I think probably they were closing short positions here, based off the this doji candle, and then the RSI levels being down here and oversold. But an area where they could have added back in was when that basically they couldn't get it back above this 200 unit moving average for the monthly, and then we just stair-stepped down, right? So we got a double bottom here, and then once it broke down in here, so basically the $12 to $11 range, I think the shorts probably piled in, middle of 2019, and if they didn't close, they probably have in the last few weeks, if they didn't close down here at the bottom or in the big move in January. And I think that's kind of telling here just on the weekly of where we did, we poked the 11, so right about that good area to short in 2019, 12 to 11 bucks. and then they got the price back down, but inside bar couldn't get the volume, selling volume to keep coming in. Buyers are back in, so it's kind of like I think like their last chance to break even there. So if we can clear this hurdle between the 12 and 11s and get more volume come in, that's where I think we come into play to go hit this $14.50 area. I've seen some different videos on YouTube, talking about that AMC is going to go to like $1,000. I think that's, pretty outlandish. That'd make it like a top 30 company in the world based on market cap alone. Something like $287 billion company. But I think that's wishful thinking. So based on the chart, obviously the all-time highs only 34.58. So if we go look at the options here, just simple options, straddle prices here just on Yahoo Finance this is for just this week, so March 19th, Friday. And you'll see here on the left, calls, so a lot of concentration at the $12 mark. Next area, big concentration is $15, and then $20. And if you come all the way down at the bottom, pretty high concentration here at 40. So a lot of people think that the squeeze could happen this week, and then I'd imagine by the options for the end of the month, probably considerably higher in that area as well. Basically hits 40. They're saying that it's going to go break a new all-time high here within the month. But first we got to get through $12 to get to 14, and then go retest that 20-25 area. And I think we can get through that $12 area this week and look to go higher. One level that I think is important and was something I was watching on Friday, I believe it's the weekly. Yeah, it's the weekly. So this 200-week exponential moving average. So you can see it on the right, but it's crossing right at $11.01. And if we look at Friday's close, we got this big dip right at power hour, but buyers came in pretty strong, 10.9. Tried to sell it off again, back down to 11, and closed above $11. So we closed above that previous weekly high, and I think the $11 area is going to be pretty significant going forward. And then after hours, we stayed up higher, and they've got this pop right at the end of the day. But I think $11, this $10 consolidation all this week, right? We put more volume in, so I think downside is limited. Say bad news happens, or markets start tanking again off the Treasury yield, or who knows? Any sort of bad news. I think downside is pretty limited right now. To $10 obviously can be the first area to look to hold. That big zero at the end, double-digit break. But I think there's just like a lot of positive news elsewhere in the markets too, right? Stimulus checks are going to come out this week. I saw a thing that it's supposed to be signed today, and then IRS, Treasury Department's going to get those out within this week. So you can see an influx of people having liquidity, throwing it into, Wall Street bet stocks, meme stocks. They might not have had, money at the end of January, and they say, hey, FOMO, I don't want to miss out this time. They're going to throw their money in, not doing due diligence. Could get caught in that, but hopefully they make a wise decision going forward. But I do think a lot of people are going to be putting money in. You got Bitcoin running right now. I think FOMO is going to be back at an all-time high, with a ton of liquidity coming back in the market. So who knows how high this thing could go. I don't think the $1,000 price targets are reasonable, but 12, 14, 20, maybe even 40, go test a new all-time high by the end of the month. Those could be probable targets based on, the chart, how it's setting up, and how fast this thing moves in the past. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. Hope you got something out of it. Let me know what you think is going to happen with AMC this week. Tell me what you think I'm doing right in this video. Tell me what you think I'm doing wrong. I'm open to the criticism. Any ways I can improve my videos for you guys, please let me know. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch, and I appreciate your feedback and any input that you provide. Yeah, I think I'll probably make another video on GameStop, and then maybe some crypto stocks, and I talk about them quite a bit. And I think cannabis stocks are going to be coming back here pretty quickly. Tilray was up this week. So hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.